Welcome to my session. I'm Zamira, the presenter of today. So I'm going to introduce myself a little bit differently today. I started my career many years ago when the AWS console wasn't rich like today, but there was only some couple of services like EC2, S3 bucket. And today, if you see AWS console is a bunch of services, you have really difficult to find all of these services and features. I'm solution architect with more than 10 years of experience designing, implementing a critical and complex solution with AWS for a middle and enterprise company. I just joined Mobiquity last year as solution architect, helping our customers with their digital transformation. And as you see in this sticker, this was the first when I started my career so many years ago. And now you see my laptop is a lot of sticker and a lot of services that I know from AWS. So this is my laptop tell everything about me. So what I'm going to talk today, I'm going to tell you guys about the concept of control tower. And I'm going to take some step backs and I'm going to share with you this experience. And this is really my example on how I experienced it, the cloud journey with AWS. I'm going some step backs and just through the journey, I'm going to show you let's say this cloud journey was very painful, and I'm going to explain you why could have done differently if I can use control tower. I'm going there. Let me present this example. So in 2017, I was working in consulting company. And during this time, one of our customers asked me, "Hey, Zamira, can you help us? Because we don't have experience on AWS. We don't have experience in cloud in general, and we want to migrate some services, some application from on-premise to AWS. Yes, of course, I'm here for that. So I'm here to help the customers. And they have just a couple of applications as they wanted to move to AWS. I started to create the first AWS accounts for them. And I just migrated lift and shift their application in the beginning. And it was super okay, very easy to do that. And in 2018, this customer came back to me and say, "Well, Zamir, we really like this cloud and we really like scalability and everything works. So now we want to extend and we want to add more automation and we want to have more AWS accounts because we have some other departments and we want to have some other solution. We want to add monitoring. So can you help us with that?" Yes, of course, I can do that. And we started to adapt, let's say, the first solution, me and other guys that were working in the same team, to create and to extend all of this and to set up the organizations in 2000. And what's happened in 2019? So, wow, this customer was increasing and was being so big, and he has a lot of success. And he's having a lot of success, and he asked it again us, "So can you help us to move and to increase our application? We want really to have more application in cloud, and we have other departments, and we have also other customers that were helping. They want to go in cloud. They have machine learning, they have AI, they want to do disaster recovery. Probably they are using containers. And we have customers with thousands of AWS accounts." And I say, "Oh my God, this is really painful." So we have to create all of these AWS accounts manually, and we can create some tools, but and we have to do centralized login also. We have to implement also backup story. We have to organize all of these accounts in some way. And honestly, was really painful. Let's say in 2017, I spent like 100 hours. And in 2018, I spent around 500 hours. And in 2019, I spent probably 1,000 or 2,000 hours. And really, it's a lot. It's a lot. And you know why? I really asked it myself at this time. So do I have something that flow me around, kick me or something like that, so that all of these problems will allow me? And of course not. I do not have. But how I can have done this differently if I could have some technology, if I can have some solution to help me to organize all of these accounts and solution much easy and in secure way. So here we go. We have a control tower solution. So control tower, for all of you that don't know, the names comes from airplanes. And a lot of airplanes. So basically, a control tower is going to manage the traffic of airplane in the way that this airplane doesn't crash, right? But here in AWS, control tower doesn't manage the airplane. So what control tower in AWS do is a managed service that allow you to set up in a easy way all AWS organization, to set up all AWS accounts in secure and applying some baseline. So some important capabilities of control tower are: 1, identity and access management; 2, compliance and guardrails; 3, account management; 4, security and governance; and 5, centralized login. We have really to remember this, because when I set up all of these things, it was really, really painful. So I'm going to explain deep dive on all of this. So when we talk about security and governance, identity and access management, control tower allow you automatically and give you automatically, when you set up control tower, a single sign-on URL in the way that you can access all AWS accounts. And this is nice because not only give you URL, but you can customize this URL and you can remember. Imagine the first situation that I have thousands of AWS accounts, and when you create a new AWS accounts, all of these accounts give you like a new URL. Can you remember really all of this URL? But not only, so there are users and groups that you can set up in a master account where is a single sign-on. So remember this, that when I have all of these accounts, you have to set up a single user for each account. Let's say we have thousands of accounts, thousands of users. That means we have to find some third-party solution to save in security way user and password. But when we have a URL and when we have a single sign-on, we can use only once. So remember that we don't need to create IAM users in each account, but we create only master account, and all of these users are managed by governance team. And you can always add the groups and add users to the groups. Another capability of single sign-on also are the list of AWS accounts. So you can have as many accounts as you want in the URL. That means you can add also the permission of the people of the groups or maybe the roles to that account. That means, let's say I have an operation guy, and this operation guy needs to have permission only in production, and I need to have permission probably in another account as well. And when he's going through this URL, he see only 2 AWS accounts with the right permission. And I have from the other side, and I have admin guide, and he had to have the permission to all of these accounts because he needs to governance all of these things. And he see the list of all AWS accounts. And the application, not less important, definitely, you can set up a user when in single sign-on that is assigned to specific application. That application can be, for example, let's say you have Elasticsearch, and you don't want to create a user in Elasticsearch when this Elasticsearch is hosted, for example, in the account number 1, because it's going to be very complex. So you create a user in master account, and this user, you set up a permission to this user and you assign this user to specific application. And you have a dashboard that is show you all the users, groups, permission, and accounts. What about security and compliance and guardrails? So guardrails are basically the security policy that you are going to apply to each account. So when Control Tower set up a new AWS account, automatically it's going to apply the security policy. So why this is important? Well, let's take an example. Let's say is a company, and you have a guy that by mistake someone is getting publishing let's say the data, or is moving the bucket that is storage of your data from private to public. And do you know what's happening if this data, that the private data, are going public? So your company, first of all, is going to have a privacy breaches. And the second, your company is going to the bad news, is going to the news. And this is not really good news, it's going really to the bad news. And this means your customers are not trusting you anymore. And they're not trusting you anymore because their data are public now. And where their data are public, they are going to leave you. And so this is very, very important. With Control Tower, give you the possibility to make to apply the security baseline in which account. So make sure that this solution, this account, this services, and this feature are compliant. But how? So I mean, okay, yeah, we talk about the compliance, we talk about, and we want to make sure that our data are private. So how these accounts speak together? How they have a permission? How make sure that this Control Tower grant permission? So when you set up the organization, and when you set up accounts, automatically Control Tower allow the possibility of give the possibility to create automatically cross IAM roles. These roles grant specific permission between AWS accounts and make sure that these accounts talk together. So that, let's say we have a security account and we want to make sure that we get notification in real time. If something happened in which of account, or something happened in service. And you know what I said before, we don't want to go to the news. So if we don't want to go to the news, we want to make sure that we have the right permission, that we get the notification if our services is not compliant. But from other side, we have centralized logging, and we want to make sure that all our we are collecting all the logs from application to the centralized logs, when our team can analyze all of these logs. Another important things about Control Tower is give you an AWS organization and allow you to create a group of AWS accounts. And which way? Let me give you an intangible example. I work at Mobiquity, and we use AWS account, obviously. So we are AWS partner, and we also have customers. We have customer one that have probably 10 accounts, and we have customer 2 that have 15 accounts, and we have customer 3 that have hundreds of accounts, and we have a lot of customers. And we want to make sure that these customers, first of all, don't speak together, and want to make sure that the security of all of these accounts, so all of these accounts are secure. So what's happened in organization? So we have these groups of accounts, and we apply automatically the policy to specific group. Let's say we have in the Middle East the bank, and they are asking us to apply some security in place to their account. So we very easily go into the organization, go into that customer, and apply security only to that customers. And we have another customer in South Africa that is hospital or something else. They have completely another security policy, and they want to apply this security in their account. So we do the same logic. This is the easy way to organize all the accounts and isolate the account by each other. So account management. Well, we talk about security, but how we can provision all of these accounts. Remember, when I was talking in beginning, so how much time I would take to provision thousands of accounts manually, and let's say in the future, probably you will have not thousand, but 20,000 of accounts. How you can do it very so only to set up one account at least take like 10 minutes. But with Control Tower, you can set up a new account only in 1 minute. What this means? So through Service Catalog, you can decide, so these customers to have some permission, and you can decide not only the customer, but also your group or specific people to launch and to create a new AWS account. What is important, and I really want to highlight, is the portfolio. So you can decide how it will be the maximum of the budget to this account. What this means? Well, let's say, so I'm going really to give you an example. This is a real story. Friends of mine, he had the startup, and he hired a lot of developer, and one of developer by mistake published their credentials only in 2 hours. So they saw the billing was like $40,000. And this is really, crazy, especially for startup, how you're going to pay all of this money. So it's if you don't have any limitation of AWS accounts, or let's say someone is going to steal you the PIN card, and they are going to pull, and if you don't have any limitation your PIN card, they are going to pull from ATM all your money, and you are broke. So what's going on in this situation? So this is why it's very important to have limitation on new AWS accounts. Let's say you want the developer has only €1,000, and after 1,000 you get a notification, you will stop probably you can extend. What about centralized login? This is important as well, and you want to find some solution. So Control Tower give you automatically the possibility to collect all the logs cross account and cross regions using CloudTrail. So CloudTrail is a service that collect the history of all the action that's happening in AWS. Probably can be through the AWS console, or probably can be through API, so really doesn't matter. And why is important to collect the logs? Well, it's important because let's say you have a website tomorrow and you are selling products in your website, a website crash, right? So the customer are not are not able to buy at this moment because your website is down. So what's happening if you have this website cross account, and what's happening if you have all these services cross region? So you have to go probably in each account and to analyze the logs, and it's not really easy. So when you have only one place, all of these logs from operation point of view, you can filter by account, you can filter by application, and you can analyze the logs very quickly and very fast. And this is very important, especially when you have RTO like less than 2 hours. And if you don't resolve this problem in less than 2 hours, that's mean you are going to pay your customer. And how much will cost all of this solution? This is really a great solution. Give me a possibility to set up AWS accounts, to set up the rules, to set up everything. So this give me, so let's say Control Tower doesn't cost anything, it's $0. And this is, wow, incredible. So only some costs about let's say about Control Tower are the feature or the services that are part of a landing zone solution. So compliance configure only in 1 month costs like around $3. Storage is 3 buckets. When you collect all the logs, cost about $1. And there are some tax for each AWS account, cost about $1. Well, I'm stepping back to you guys, and remember what I said in beginning, how much time I take to set up all of these AWS accounts. Let's say you have you need around 3 months, and you have a guy that had let's say salary monthly 80K, and he needs quarter of the year to set up landing zone, and that's mean this landing zone is going to cost you around 20,000, right? So what you are going to choose, 20,000 or for year? So for year you can choose, right? And so this service is wonderful, and there are always some pro and cons. So this is the pro is easy setup. Only in last 2 hours you can have a full landing zone with capability of AWS organization, accounts, security in place, and all of this. And the nice thing is that a lot of company ask me, well, we have already organization, we have already single sign-on. How we can make sure that we don't need to set up from scratch? Control Tower now support the existing organization using single sign-on, and support versioning as well. Let's say you have some baseline, you want to add some new feature, you can apply so as many times as you want, and the account can scale. So you can add thousands of accounts now, but you can remove it in just 1 minute. So as you know, this service is completely new, was launched in 2019. And some cons is no API available right now, and is not available in to all regions. And this is the last slide that I have for today. Let's say we have a complex approach, and in complex approach, just to summarize everything, I'm just 1 minute bit of time. So just to summarize everything, in Control Tower cover all the governance services to set up in easy way and very, very fast way, and make sure that security is in place, and make sure that the login is in place. And you can add as many accounts as you want based on your requirement. And this is my presentation. So thank you so much. You can find me on social. You can find me, you can send me an email if you want to know more about Control Tower and the solution. So thank you so much.